What if Judas isn't the character you thought he was? I want to suggest to you a different story, but a biblical one nonetheless. When we hear the name Judas, we picture the villain of the story. You know, that greedy traitor who sold Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. But what if his story is far more complex than we could imagine? Judas Iscariot was from Iscariot, in Judea, making him the only non-Galilean among the 12, and making it very likely he was influenced by the Sicarii zealots who longed to overthrow Rome with violence. Now, if Judas shared that dream, he wasn't looking for a gentle teacher. He wanted a revolutionary, a deliverer who would take the throne by force. But Jesus kept talking about dying instead of fighting, about loving enemies instead of crushing them. Now, we know Judas began to steal from the money bag in John 12:6, maybe to fund his own vision of the kingdom. And then we learn Satan entered into him. Evil doesn't always start with horns and hatred. It can start when disappointment festers into defiance. See, when Judas went to the chief priest, the irony is thick. He hands Jesus to the very men, the religious elite, he would have despised the most. And why would he do that? Let me suggest it's because he was done waiting. I don't think the 30 pieces of silver were ever about greed. They were an ultimatum. If you are the Messiah, prove it. Do something. Show your power. Does that not sound eerily familiar to Satan's temptation of Christ in the wilderness? But when the kiss led to arrest and the revolution never came, Judas realized he had tried to force God's hand instead of taking God's hand. Remorse overwhelmed him, but seemingly repentance never came. Judas's tragedy isn't just betrayal, but a misplaced expectation. He wanted a kingdom of power, not a cross of mercy. He wanted control, but not surrender. Friend, how different are we than Judas? When Jesus doesn't meet our expectations, do we still follow him? Do we expect comfort rather than conformity to Christ? Do we expect the crown before the cross? Do we expect triumph rather than transformation? Now, this subject is very close to my heart, literally. Around my neck, I wear a chain with a silver coin. It's an ancient piece that circulated in Jesus' day, and it's the same type of coin that Judas would have received for turning Christ over. Now, why do I wear it? Well, first, it was a gift from a dear friend in Israel. Second, it's a vivid reminder. Judas betrayed Christ for 30 pieces of silver. Yet how often do I do it for far less? For someone's approval, for fleeting comfort, for the illusion of control. Beware. The price of betrayal is always cheaper than it looks and costlier than we can imagine.